Hi-ya! Self-defense, or how librarians are making the world a safer place. It was April vacation in 7th grade when I had my epiphany. There was a flash of light and a smell of sulfur, and suddenly I saw my life roll out before me. I knew I was going to grow up to be a great artist someday, a dancer, a painter, a poet, perhaps. Now, I knew that great artists had to live in or visit New York City, and I knew that New York City was a very dangerous place. It was clear that if I was going to fulfill my destiny, I was going to have to learn the art of self-defense. So, I put on my hat, my scarf, my mittens, my coat, and my boots. I went out the front door of Carpenter's Grocery, my family grocery store. I then went past St. Mary's Catholic Church, St. Mary's Catholic Convent, St. Mary's Catholic Playground, where no one was allowed to have any fun. And then I walked up John Street towards the St. Lawrence River until I got to Hahn Memorial Library, a one-story brick building with a sloping sidewalk. I opened up the outer storm door, then the middle storm door, and finally the inner storm door. I marched up to the front desk. Sitting behind the front desk was my town librarian, Mrs. Minnick, memorable for so many reasons, not the least of which was her appearance. Her hair stuck up off of her head, black and white, like pig bristles. Her eyebrows were really more like carpet squares. She had runny yolk eyes magnified 10 to 15 times behind thick Coke bottle glasses. She had a ruddy complexion with large pores, a soft, downy mustache, and thick, purplish lips. We said she kept her afternoon snack in them. Mrs. Minnick, there was this really weird flash of light and a smell of sulfur. I saw my life roll out before me, Mrs. Minnick. I'm going to be a great artist someday. I might have to move to New York City, away from Clayton. Can you believe it, Mrs. Minnick? It's so dangerous in New York. I'm going to have to learn the art of self-defense. Do you have any books on the art of self-defense, Mrs. Minnick? And Mrs. Minnick held up a finger like a kielbasa sausage. Her eyes shone like lard in a hot frying pan, and she said, "Regina, I have just the thing!" And she disappeared behind the blue curtain into the back room. My father had forbade me to go into the back room. He said there was romance novels back there, historical fiction. He said no good Catholic girl would ever be caught dead in the back room. Only Protestant girls. I didn't want to risk damnation for a paperback, so I stood there dutifully. About 10 minutes later, I heard stacks of books falling over, and Mrs. Minnick emerged with a small blue paperback in her hand. She slapped it down on the front desk and said, "Regina, this is the book you need in order to fulfill your destiny."